Welcome to the Chelsea Fans Channel. It is with great delight that I welcome Nizaar onto the channel. I'm sure that a lot of you are already aware of Nizaar's work. Nizaar is the Chelsea correspondent for Goal.com, and I've been trying to get him on this channel for ages. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to welcome you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, finally.
No, it really is a joy. I'm sure that most of you are aware of Nizaar already, but if you're not, make sure that you are following him on Twitter. He runs a fantastic account. Nizaar, thank you so much for coming on. It really is a joy to welcome you on. So as much as Nizaar and I get on, we are actually very good friends. We disagree on something massively, and we need your help. We've been talking about our starting 11 for the game against West Ham, and well, we disagree quite significantly, don't we?
Yeah, I think you're more attack-minded and I'm a bit more defensive.
It's very true, I am more gung-ho. But what we need is, we need your thoughts on this. So we're going to now discuss our two starting lineups. Will you comment below and let us know who you think has won? Right, so I'm going to go first because obviously this is my home advantage. When we're on Goal.com, it will be a completely different story, but this is home advantage to me. So my team to start the game against West Ham is up now. Let me know what you think. Nizaar, looking at this team, is this a team that you like? Do you like the shape of my team?
Well, I think, as I said, I think it's quite attack-minded, but I really like Kante. I think Kante has to start. He's looked brilliant in pre-season, and after last season, I think that steal is absolutely what Chelsea need.
It's incredible, actually, that Chelsea managed to sign Kante, isn't it? Because we finished 10th last year, and yet we managed to sign the best player in the Premier League.
Yeah, and I think loads of other people were interested in him. He's just absolutely brilliant, and at some of the prices that you're talking about now, it wasn't that expensive, but Eden Hazard's going to be brilliant next season. He has to be in there somewhere. It's just whether you put him down the middle or wide.
I think that, do you know what's going to be a point of contention? People looking at my team now, the one that's going to be a point of contention is I've gone for Branislav Ivanovic at centre half. I just think that I don't think that he can play fullback anymore. I think he's lost at least half a yard of pace. I use that cautiously, but he's certainly lost enough pace that he can't be a fullback anymore, and therefore, for me, needs to play centrally. And I think that he eclipses Gary Cahill just. You disagree with this one. When we see your team in a moment, he hasn't made your team.
I think there's no perfect defence, is there? So I look at your defence and I feel a bit worried, but even my defence doesn't make me too happy. But yeah, it's got to be Gary Cahill in there for me. I think you've left out a really strong-ish centre-back anyway, good Premier League centre-back.
Okay, this is an interesting one. So we disagree quite a lot, actually. You'll see that in Nizaar's team in a moment. But where we disagree across the back line is Gary Cahill. I think people who watch this channel regularly will know why I've gone for Ivanovic. Yeah. They know I love him, and I actually just think he's a better centre half than Cahill. But do you disagree with me there?
I think he's a legend. I think he's a strong centre half, but I think he'll end up at right back. I think I would have him in my team, but I don't love him as a full back. But I think it's a bit too early for Aina. I think maybe later in the season he'll develop, but maybe not for day one. Right. So you've gone Cahill. Is there anything else in this team? How do you feel about my striking duo? This is what I'm very, very excited to see. You've gone straight in there. The two big names, Batshuayi, big signing, but is he ready? Is he going to do the job for Chelsea? You think yes. I think maybe it's going to take him a few weeks. Maybe he's going to score some goals in the cup first against some lesser opposition, and I think also Fabregas is a point of contention. Like, I think that maybe more Chelsea fans will be on your side, but I think Fabregas might not start, and I think Matic is in a better position under Antonio Conte.
Do you know what? We're going to find out about your team in a moment, and although you say that you think people will side with me, I'm not convinced that everybody will. Interestingly, you'll find out in a moment, but Cesc Fabregas' place is in jeopardy when it comes to Nizaar's team. But just before we go across to your team, how can anybody argue with this? Ready? It goes Willian, Batshuayi, Costa, Hazard. That has got goals written all over it. That front four beat West Ham, don't they? Surely.
Yeah, but will they go back the other way when West Ham are hitting them on the break?
Too conservative. Right, now it's time to see Nizaar's team. Okay, I do like the look of that team. Nizaar, talk me through that. It's a completely different formation to what I was anticipating.
So you've gone the Antonio Conte 4-2-4, but I'm switching to 4-3-3, which was used against Werder Bremen. And
to good effect, really. I mean, the back line didn't look so good, but going forward, we seemed okay.
Yeah. Well, your team's more aggressive than mine, maybe, but I've gone with a controversial option, maybe, in that Oscar had such a bad season last season, but now he's in a three-man midfield instead of Fabregas.
Do you know, I cannot wait to see what people have to say about this.
Yeah.
I understand the validity in what you're saying. I think that it's a good suggestion, and I can actually see a world in which it happens. However, I think that Fabregas is such a naturally gifted player. I think he's so good on the ball and has such a fine eye for a pass that we can't leave him out. So talk me through your thinking of playing. So your three-man midfield is Matic, Kante, and Oscar.
Yeah.
So do you think that Oscar can play slightly deeper?
So yeah, I think it's slightly deeper than you used to, because when Jose Mourinho won the league, Oscar was right up top, and I think he's kind of learned under Conte over pre-season that he can battle a little bit more. He's a bit more physical maybe. He's been put through training all the way through pre-season, but also what he can do that Fabregas can't is score goals from midfield, or scores more goals from midfield. And I like Fabregas, and I think it's going to be a real battle between those two. But I also think Matic will be very popular with Antonio Conte, and I think that Antonio will use him a lot as a holding midfielder alongside Kante.
This is fascinating. So what we need from you, we need you to decide, do you agree with Rory's 4-2-4 formation, or do you agree with Nizaar's 4-3-3 formation? I'm very, very interested to hear what you think. And also, let us know what you think about the points raised. Interestingly, from my team, I've gone for Ivanovic at centre-half in place of Gary Cahill. And interestingly, in Nizaar's team, we've gone for a three-man midfield, including Oscar. Very, very interested to hear your thoughts. Batshuayi up front on my team as well. I'm amazed. I'm loving that man like a brother already. His performances on Twitter have been enough for me. He hasn't made your team.
No, he's. I think he's a good signing. I think he'll grow into the season, but I think West Ham's come too soon for him. I think that it's going to be a case of he'll kind of improve as the season goes on. I really like your team. I like Aina. I think he's going to be another one who is another talent who grows throughout the season, and he might be an emerging star throughout the season. But for game one, it's got to be, unfortunately, it's got to be the same stars that failed last season. Yeah.
There we go. So comment below. Let us know what you think. Nizaar, delighted to welcome you on. Thank you so
much. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Go on, you Blues.
Hello everybody and welcome to Chelsea Fans Channel. Now this is a video I did not want to have to make. I've tried to remain positive all summer, however the time has come.